Hey, if you guys have any ideas on any upcoming shows or you want your favorite team spoken about on the next podcast, please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to Banter Football 30 Podcast. Thanks. Have a good one.
So yes, everybody, welcome to the show. How's everybody doing today? Good, great, awesome.
Doing all right.
So, give a little rundown. First, we're going to talk about the Super Cup. Real Madrid and Manchester United. Clearly, those Dragons were not really going over there. Then we're going to go to Community Shield. We'll talk about Arsenal and Chelsea, and then after that, we're going to do an EPL preview about who we think the top four is going to be and why. Who's missing in top four, and the dark horse. And then last but not least, we'll do the effervescent tribute game by Mr. Jimmy. All right, so we're ready to get started. First, we're going to talk about Super Cup. Super Cup that took place yesterday between Real Madrid and the Manchester United, which ended up pretty much in demolishing. Well, it was 2-1, but it could have been 4-5 and 6-1. I guess we can all agree, right? So I'm going to throw it over to Jimmy. Jimmy, what did you think about Real Madrid's performance and the momentum going into La
Liga? Well, first of all, Mr. V2 Kanji, with all the shit talking you just been talking shit the whole entire preseason. I'm coming at all of y'all.
Damn.
I thought we all agreed like Madrid didn't have the big guns and the little kids were just losing games in preseason.
And I was telling y'all it was preseason. We took it as it was. Mr. Liverpool beating Bayern Munich, and he thought he won a trophy or something.
Get out of here.
All of a sudden, preseason mattered. But
get out of
yesterday,
here, man. It's not too often you can talk shit about Real Madrid. Come on, you have to give me some slack.
All right, that's true. But yesterday was a good game, though, against Manchester United.
It was a lovely game.
It was a lovely game, indeed. We control the pace of the game, possession.
How many passes was it again? Was it 263 to, 92?
In the first opening minutes?
In the first, 20, 25 minutes or something.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was bad. We really controlled the game. We controlled the pace of the game. We created a ton of chances.
Y'all took him to geometry class. All those triangles.
So talk about. So we got Benzema starting, obviously. Was it Isco starting on the right, or was that essentially?
No, he scored. He started centrally, and Gareth Bale started with. That's one of the big thing though. Gareth Bale and Benzema up top.
Yeah, that was a great tactic.
That was big. I was surprised. They never played together like this.
You guys played two up top, or was it?
We played.
Yeah, so it was like a 4-4-2 diamond.
Midfield.
Yeah, and Isco played
and then
behind
two
him.
forward. Yeah,
man, that was a masterclass, bro.
Benzema and Gareth Bale really impressed me a lot yesterday. I mean, a lot of people doesn't seem to think so, but I think their movement on the ball and without the ball was excellent. You know, it's like they've been playing in the formation for like a long time. Even though that's probably like the first time we ever line up with both of them up there with Isco behind them. They were fantastic, you know, making run beyond the defense, helping us, you know, Benzema retaining ball up top to help bring in the offense. And then Isco is just beyond them running the show.
Jimmy.
You know? Yeah, they were talking about Valencia being the best right back in the league. It was way too easy for Isco.
No.
It not at all. Isco was just running rings around them. Like everyone. It was pathetic.
Yo, Jimmy.
But yeah. What's up, Louis?
What I found interesting yesterday, from ESPN FC, I think they were confused as to how like Benzema is still in the team or he's the first striker in the team sheet. But I think yesterday really clarified and showed his work ethic. his movement.
What he usually what he does exactly on the field for us.
That he will always be there, regardless of the strike. No matter how many goals you guys score, he'll be the first striker on that team sheet.
Because we talked about this even during the Morata saga, where like why was the reason for Real selling Morata? It's because and preferring Benzema. Well, it's his understanding that Benzema has with other players. I think Morata just didn't have.
That's true.
But you know what really impressed me yesterday?
What?
I'd never thought. Okay, I didn't know that 3-man midfield of Real Madrid might be the best in the world right now.
Oh, for sure.
So we're talking
Kroos,
Modric, and 2 years. You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, who else can contest that?
Yeah,
true. I think for me that was so glaring, and the fact that there's levels to this European football. Manchester United thought it was cute. They bought a couple players here and there, or they want to make excuses because some players were suspended or injured.
Oh, yeah, you should have seen their fans, bro, talking shit to me, like talking all crap to me before the games. You should just look at my phone, bro. All the messages I was receiving, because they thought to beat us in the preseason. They were just gonna run over us.
I mean, let's think about it.
Yeah,
it's a big jump to go from playing Europa League final.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro, they're playing Ajax. You know, for me, that was so disheartening. Like, Liverpool lost to Seville. That was a good Seville team.
Yeah, Sevilla's team was a pretty good team.
Listen, and then Man United played
who you play in front of them.
Exactly, but Man United played Ajax, who didn't even make the qualifiers. Like, come on, there's nothing to boast about for real. Like, if you think you're big dog, you play against a big dog yesterday. It was a masterclass. Tutored, schooled.
We were playing against Chihuahuas, so it's okay.
But what I'm saying is how many? There's not many teams that Real Madrid have not put a masterclass. You know, Real Madrid's easily the best team in the world. Easy. So, are we looking too deep into United and saying, oh, they have a long way to go? Of course, they have a long way to go. But at the end of the day, they were never supposed to.
Well, the positive thing for Manchester United is the fact that they don't have a team like Real Madrid in the EPL.
They don't have to see that. Yeah, facts though.
You didn't take any positives from the way they lined up yesterday or anything.
Speaking of that, Jimmy. So what? We're not.
What did you say?
Three-peat.
Real Madrid, three-peat or not? Are you gonna say it? Are you gonna say it right now? Is that your prediction?
I have to see how the season goes. Probably the first 2 months, after the first 2 or 3 months, then I can make a prediction.
But it's not a prediction.
He's been said.
So
Anyway.
All right, yeah, I believe we can win the Champions League again this year because we're the best team on the planet at the moment.
Anyway, quick question. Shifting over to United, how do you guys think Lukaku and Matic did on the debuts?
I mean, it's the first
Matic was pretty good. I think he was the best player overall for real.
Yeah.
You could tell he was bought like we said last week. He was bought there to make sure Pogba has more freedom in the park, and as well, I think he showed something I didn't see a lot. I think more movement up front, better passing of the ball. That was something I never saw in his Arsenal.
Is it just me, or does it seem like Pogba is a little selfish sometimes?
That time, you saw his name.
There were a couple instances when they had a good counter attack.
Yeah, I
right?
think that was the most glaring one.
And he has players. He has players in position to take a good shot on target, but he always chooses to take the shot himself, which is pretty annoying. If I was his teammates,
I think they're expecting him to be selfish. I think maybe.
Well, not in that area, because if you're having a counter attack, right? It's three against two. You should make the best possible choices instead of shooting for 30 yards out.
But I just mean generally, I think they want him to be more selfish.
Because he was passive last year.
Yeah, I think that was a knock on him last year. They were saying he's too passive. And remember, the chances he created. I think they want for the money. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be, right? You know what I'm saying? And for the big money move, for him being who he is, I think they're expecting him to do more.
But is that who he is, though? Cool question. Is that who he is as a player, though?
Is he? He's a box-to-box, in my opinion, and I think he's supposed to control the game, but at the same time...
I really don't know what his best position is. I actually have no idea what Pogba's best position
And
is.
people expect him to score all these goals, and I don't think he's that type of player.
He's not. Yeah.
He's a playmaker.
Is he really a playmaker? Like
Yeah,
really?
because I was about to say on top of that.
Like
Yeah.
he's not really fantastic at anything.
I mean, his passing is good.
He
I'm
has
not
like
even going
traits.
front. He's very good at passing.
He has like traits of everything, but he's not absolutely fantastic at anything.
His passing is exquisite. I'm not going to front at that. I'm not. Yeah.
Really, he's passing.
Yeah, I'm not even going front.
Yeah, his
He's
passing's
the best
pretty
passer
good.
on the team.
He's got range. He's got some range.
He's the best passer on the team.
He's a dribbling as well.
No, you can have range. Any decent professional.
No. Jordan,
Okay.
no. That's an underrated skill.
No.
That's an underrated
To be
skill.
honest,
Okay.
it's about
Okay.
choosing to make the right
Bro.
passes.
Yeah, but
reading the game.
I also kind of get what Jimmy's trying to say though.
You know,
Because we can each go around and I can ask you a question like, what is Paul Pogba's best position? Is he a number 10? Is he a number 8? Is he a
you
6?
can't tell.
Is yeah, exactly. Is
I
he a box to
understand.
box? Is he
I
somebody who just like plays
but I
behind the
think it's
that
striker?
on
the
us,
fact
though.
that he's a hybrid. He's more of a hybrid box to box where it's like
He's a modern footballer.
Yeah, positionless, right? He's a modern football positionless.
He's a modern footballer. Because most modern footballers, they just tend to be played across the field.
No need to box him in.
get what I'm
No
saying,
need to
right?
box him in.
He can play decent. Look, there's not a position where he excelled. Like he's like, oh my God, he's world class. He's definitely excelled.
He's
in.
world class.
There's not a single
You
position.
have to say he's a
where
world class.
He can play on the wing. He can play on the wing good. He can play centrally good. He can play as a DM good.
I think
He
he's a
cannot
box-to-box
play anywhere.
midfielder.
That's
You don't
great.
think he's a
But I think he's a box. I think he's a world class box to box midfielder. I think you compare him to Vidal. You compare him to most box to box midfielders, like box to box.
Vidal is a world class box to box player. I wouldn't say
I think him
Pogba
and
is a
Vidal are the best two
world.
box to box midfielders in the world.
I wouldn't say so.
So who's better?
I disagree.
So who would you compare him to?
I don't think Pogba is world class.
So
That's
I'm
my
saying
opinion.
if he's not, who would you compare him to?
Yo.
Seriously.
I'm saying who's better? Name you couldn't name 5 central midfielders, box to box midfielders that are better than him right now. You couldn't.
We're saying he's not world. We can't say.
No, personally,
He is world class.
I wouldn't say he's world class. No.
Name your top 5 real quick.
Yeah, so
My
give me
top
five.
five?
Yeah,
midfielders?
world class. Central midfield.
Easily. Cruz Modric, for example.
Yeah,
Yeah. We got
Yeah.
Cruz Modric.
yeah.
But
We
so
have
okay,
Kevin
so
De Bruyne.
wait. When you say
Kevin
that,
De
Kevin De
Bruyne
Bruyne is
center
better.
midfielder.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Kevin De Bruyne is better than Pogba. Yeah, De Bruyne is better than Pogba.
because Cruz isn't is RB or Modric, either one of them.
But they're all
One of
midfielders.
them sit.
Central
One of them
midfielder.
sit. One of them is more the deep line playmaker, and one of them is more advanced.
Cross.
So in that case, you can't put both of them there because they're both not box to box midfielders in that general sense. Then you put one of them there, so it's either Modric or Cruz. It's not both of them because one of them is going to be the one that's going to be the deep line playmaker. The other one's going to be the one that's
They're
box to
both
box.
deep line playmakers. They're both deep line playmakers. But they still can. Modric can play box to box midfielder.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
I'll give it to
I
you,
think
Jimmy.
it is.
Jimmy,
Modric.
I'll give
I
it
think
to you.
Modric's
Yeah, what's up, Lewis?
I think Modric is the one that's more advanced, right, than Cruz.
What's
Right.
up, Lewis?
No, I was saying I'll give it to you. So just continue. So Cruz.
So, Cruz, Modric, Vidal.
Modric.
Let's just say that. Cruz, Modric, Vidal. You want to
Vidal?
give them 3? That's still 3. You still got 2 more.
Verratti.
Verratti's
Verratti,
not a box
Kevin
to box
De Bruyne?
midfielder. He's not a box to box midfielder. He's not a box to box midfielder.
No,
Okay,
they are
no.
central midfielders.
They're
They are
central
midfielders
though,
still.
Mark.
They're-
Let's not classify
Even
this as a role,
to an
man.
extent, even Casemiro, I will pick Casemiro
No,
over
these
Pogba.
are
I'm sorry.
defensive midfielders,
Yo.
man.
Yeah.
I would, 100%.
Yo.
All right, you know what though, Jimmy? Even if you wanted to say that, let's just play for devil's advocate. You want to say Verratti? Verratti defensively is very good defensively. Pogba defensively is not as bad as you're making it. But I'll tell you this: the gap
I
between
didn't say
them
he was bad
offensively. But I'm
defensively.
saying,
when did I say that?
I'm just saying.
When did I say that?
I'm not saying you
When
said
did I
that.
say that?
I'm not saying you said that. I'm saying
You
it's not
just
as
said
bad
it.
as
You
you're
just
making
said I
it.
said that.
But
I
you're
didn't-
making him out to say. All right, either way.
Well-
I'm going off track. My point is, offensively, the gap between Pogba and Verratti is way higher in Pogba's favor than it is defensively between them. Can we all agree on that?
Mark. Okay, now pause. Let me just clarify the argument again. You had given Jimmy a choice between position, but you kind of like you're arguing in terms of role.
But that's my point, though. I'm saying, but Vito, I just said to him, I'm giving him, I'll play devil's advocate and even allow him
Okay.
to say Verratti and Casemiro. But if you
Yeah.
compare them, by not just
If you
role,
match up.
by all of the mechanics, by all their intangibles,
Okay.
Pogba has more. Right or wrong?
Okay, but what about effect on a game?
But-
Okay, but what about effect on a
especially
game?
effect
Yeah,
on the
Pogba
game.
may have more, but what about
Especially
effect on a game?
game?
Are
Especially.
you kidding me?
We seen it
Barcelona
last
versus
night.
PSG.
We
Are
seen
you
it last
serious?
Let
night.
me just make my point before you go.
Barcelona
So
versus PSG.
So
Are you
Verratti,
serious? You're not going to tell me that
Hold on,
Verratti was
hold
not
on,
the
we're talking
best
over each other.
midfielder on his time
Hold
when he
on,
played in the game?
hold on. Let me answer it then. You're going to tell me that Verratti and Casemiro can go to Juventus or Manchester United and have the same effect as Pogba?
Yes!
Look at
Yes!
Casemiro's effect in
Casemiro.
Madrid.
So-
Madrid have never had a defensive midfielder like this ever since
Me and
Makelele.
Lewis,
Casemiro is probably the best team in the world right now.
Never
I mean,
had
yeah,
a defensive
yeah,
midfielder
listen.
like this
Yo,
since Makelele. Are you serious? Look at the
Casemiro's nice, but
I would be surprised if
no
Verratti scored
Pogba,
3
bro.
goals in the last 3 years for PSG. I would be surprised if Verratti.
But like I said,
I'd be surprised if
Oh,
Verratti
it's about
created.
goals. Oh, my
No,
God.
nothing
Hold
about
on, you're
goals,
right.
man.
If that's the
Football's not about
If that's
numbers.
the case, Modric wouldn't even be the best center midfielder in the world. Because Modric
So
doesn't
let me
score
finish
at
what I'm saying.
all.
Can you let me finish what I'm saying? It's not just about goals, right? It's not just about assists, right? It's not just about chances created, right? But if you put all of those together, Pogba still does more than both of them.
But he's not
so how
world
can you
class.
say that then?
Period.
So who is?
Yeah,
Jimmy,
okay.
who is?
No.
Who is then? If it's not him, you just said name 5. You can name 3, and after those 3, there's nobody else you can name. Because Verratti and Casemiro cannot do what Pogba does. But I tell you
that's
this,
the only
Pogba
point.
can
That's the only
definitely
point
do
where
what they do.
I don't agree with Jimmy. That's the only point where I don't agree with Jimmy. I think he is world class.
I don't
come
think
on.
so.
Look, come on. Let's be serious and say that there are midfielders out there who can have a better effect on their
They
team.
They
than
could.
Paul Pogba.
Yes, they could. I'm
And
asking
they
you.
do.
I'm
No,
asking
not
you.
could, but
I'm
they do
asking you,
have a
but that's in
better
a different way. I'm saying this. V2. Verratti cannot go to Manchester United, play in front of Herrera and Matic, and do what Pogba did. Yes or no?
Okay,
Yes or no?
Okay.
Yes
Yeah,
or
if
no?
you put it that way, if you tell Verratti be an attacking
Okay,
midfielder
now let me
and
ask
be
you
like
this.
that-
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Can Pogba
But
go to
still-
PSG
but still.
and play and do what Verratti does? Of course he
Better.
can.
Verratti's-
Of course he
Verratti's
could.
position.
Can he go to Real Madrid and play behind Modric and Cruz
Yeah,
and
he
simplify
can.
his game? Of course he could.
Not in the
Hold
DM
up right
position.
there.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Hold up
100%.
right there.
No,
Hold up right
sorry,
there.
but no.
At Man United, they tried to play him with Herrera in that deep line role, doing the exact same thing that Verratti almost does.
With
and
no
he
other
still
midfielder
does not
though. It's just
grasp
them
it.
two. It's just them two.
We have seen
Exactly.
Pogba play
Exactly, but
as a
Verratti
DM.
can
No,
play
but
that
we're
deep
saying
line
he's gonna be
position.
behind. He's gonna be
And he's
behind
not
Cruz and
that
Modric.
great.
He's gonna be behind Cruz and Modric. He's gonna be right behind
He's
them.
not
doing
gonna
what
be-
Casemiro's doing.
No,
Not simple
no,
as that.
not
Where's
for
the
Real
defense
And I'll tell
gonna
you
come
this,
from?
Casemiro
Okay, where's the
sure
defense
as
gonna
hell
come from?
cannot go to
Wait,
Manchester
are you gonna
United.
tell me Pogba is gonna? Are you gonna tell me the
Casemiro
defense
will
is gonna
start.
come from Pogba?
What?
Here's a post-match interview from what's his name, Mourinho yesterday. They asked him a question, right? And then he was like, "There's nobody in the EPL. There's not a single player. There's not a replica of Toni Kroos, Modric, Casemiro. Hold on one second. And then Isco. They ask, what's his name?
United.
Pep Guardiola.
Oh.
After we finished playing against them, he was like, "For Real Madrid, it's just a warm up, a preseason. For us, it means everything because there's not a player in EPL that's as good as Cruz,
If you say Casemiro,
Modric,
bro.
Casemiro, Isco,
Nah, fam.
two managers who won everything in the game. Says that.
We're not saying that. We're not saying that that's not true.
So
we know
you
we're the best
think
midfield
if
player in the world.
Casemiro go to Manchester United today, he wouldn't start?
Mark,
no
I
one
understand
said
what-
that
okay.
though.
Okay, dude. Okay, but still, but yeah.
We-
Jimmy,
he
sorry,
would
but-
say
if
Pogba's
he would,
world
dude,
class.
he would
That's
make
what
that
we
team
said.
better,
Okay,
100%.
just to end this argument. Look, Mark, I totally understand where you're coming from, but man, dude, I'm stuck here at a crossroads. Jimmy, I disagree with you where you said Pogba is not world
Yeah,
class. He's
Okay,
world
Yeah,
class.
that's.
But then let's
Definition
just,
of world class is
but
thrown around
Mark,
too
exactly.
much.
But Mark, I'm just gonna tell you right now, they're better players for me in that center midfield, and I'd rather pick over Pogba.
Facts.
Facts.
It's just pure simple.
And that could be
Because
used-
because
that could
because
be
to have
used the role,
because
though.
be-
At the end of the day, that doesn't mean
Exactly.
that doesn't mean
Okay.
that individually. What Pogba
Fair
can
enough.
do
Okay,
is
put it this way.
intangibles alone.
Okay,
You
put it
cannot
this.
tell
Okay,
me
put it
that,
this way.
that Casemiro can go in that midfield in an advanced role in front of them and create and do the things Pogba did last year. He cannot.
Okay.
He does not have that ability. That's my point. The ability that Pogba has is higher than the ability Casemiro has offensively.
Yeah.
Offensively.
He has ability, but I'm sorry, that just does not mean you're a better footballer. That just does not mean you're a better footballer. Okay, put it this way:
but my point is,
if you
we're
want to
talking
look at
about Paul Pogba here, boys. Like, what do you think? Like, come on. Like, when you go to Juventus,
let me put it this way.
right
Let me put it this way, Mark. Let me ask you a quick question. Let me just ask you a quick question about Pogba. When Pogba was at Juventus, who had a bigger effect in that team, Pirlo or Pogba?
Pirlo.
Now you match it.
No,
Now you match him up on talent. You match him up on talent. No, but still, it's at some point, like Juventus, but.
Are you joking?
Are you going to talk about maintaining the movement of that Juventus team?
Maintaining possession, yes. Because all Pirlo does.
Now was that
All
not a
Pirlo
bigger
does,
effect on the
yo,
game as
son.
opposed to what Paul Pogba does?
Without Vidal and Pogba, there is no way on God's green earth they go to Champions League final. No way.
I feel
at
like
all.
mediocre.
Okay,
You guys
Yeah,
are so
okay,
used
yeah, I
to
can
but
agree.
you can say the exact same thing about Casemiro. Without Casemiro, there's no way Real Madrid is going to Champions League final.
Okay.
You can say the same thing about PSG.
There's
Without
no way we
Verratti,
win
there's
trophies
no way they
without
would have beaten
Casemiro.
Barcelona in that first
No
leg.
way.
Their
And I would
importance,
argue
their role-
Casemiro is our most
that's-
important
but
player. I'm
that's
sorry.
Like saying, that's just like saying when Manchester United went to the finals, they could have did it without Anderson. He plays a role. He plays a
Are you
specific
really gonna
role.
compare Casemiro to Anderson?
I'm not comparing that. I'm saying that the role is just as
Oh,
important
man.
for everyone on the team. It's just as important.
Dude.
I'm talking about the ability,
Alright.
the ability that one player has to the next.
You guys-
Casemiro does
okay,
not
I'm
have
sorry.
his ability. At the end of the day, it's just that
My
simple.
standards-
He doesn't have his ability.
My standards are way too high for all of y'all.
Oh,
You
you
Chelsea
standards.
fanboys.
Oh, here
Okay.
we go.
Wow.
I'm
Standards.
sorry.
Okay.
Because
Coming
you
from
guys
the
are
guy
so
that was
used to
like
mediocre
begging for Pogba
teams.
to be low.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, we're going way too far. But I see where you're coming from. Yeah, ability-wise, he's world class.
You digress.
not.
You digress.
No, it's not.
Let's move on. So now we're done with that. We're going to speak about the Community Shield, which was last week Sunday, Arsenal versus Chelsea. We should all know how that ended up 1-1. Penalties, I think, ended up 4-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I guess we can talk about Pedro's red card if you guys saw that. Some people were trying to argue. A lot of Chelsea fans were saying it wasn't malicious intent, but I mean, as you look at it more and more,
I mean, red. That was
Wait.
straight red, bro. That's
Coming
not.
from the Arsenal glasses.
yeah, I honestly at first glance I didn't
No,
think
it
it was
was
a
a
red
bad
card.
challenge.
I
Yeah,
thought
it's
it
just
was
straight
really
red.
harsh. I thought it was like
Challenge,
maybe a Xhaka type of red card where it's like it looked worse than it did originally, so we're just gonna give you the red card.
Yeah.
But
that was just straight red,
It
bro.
was a little bit strict.
yeah,
But,
you guys
I mean,
discuss that. Do you believe it was intentional? Do you believe that it was just a bad tackle?
It's just a bad tackle, bro.
I thought it would have been a yellow because I don't think there was any intent behind it. It was a bad tackle. Poorly executed. But the referee decided to pull out a red card. And at the same time, you can't argue against that because it was indeed a bad tackle. But if I was a referee, I would have just looked at intent in case of before what happened, and I would have just given him a yellow card. But straight red, I guess.
Man, this community shit was really funny to me, bro. Like, is there a way if both teams have problems? For me, I think that community shield just pointed out both teams are in trouble this season. Because
There's a deficit.
tactically for Arsenal, I didn't see anything that would show me okay, this is gonna be a different season.
Okay.
And for Chelsea, the death is glaring, bro. What?
Okay, yeah, I mean, but still, they're still missing some big players. Okay, like Chelsea's missing Hazard. I mean, we haven't seen Bakayoko yet, but from what's been said, he is supposedly, a crucial
But
player.
does that speak to the depth? I mean,
yeah,
that speaks.
they
to the
sold Matic.
That speaks to the depth. I mean, you would think there was a club like Chelsea would have the quality players. At the same time, Arsenal tactically, bro.
They're just woeful because I think you hit on that. You hit on that before. You said if there was a better attack, they would have torn.
Yeah, I mean, that back three was so suspect. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a better team.
I mean, but definitely. If it was a better team, I agree. It would have been a rout. But you have to also take into account that there were 6 first-team players missing in Arsenal starting 11, rather than the 3. I'm sorry, I think it was 2 on Chelsea's starting 11. So at the end of the day, that attack you're seeing from Chelsea it does get tremendously better.
Three from Chelsea. Three from Chelsea.
But
Hazard, Costa,
yeah.
and who else?
But
Anybody else?
I wouldn't necessarily say Fabregas is their chief midfield.
he is now, bro.
Yeah, but
He
he's
is
the
now.
main starter.
He is now.
Yeah, he is now
yeah.
by default. He is now by default. But I wouldn't say according to last season he wasn't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying for what they have now, that he's the starter. Like Lewis is saying, that's their starting 11 outside of Hazard and probably Costa too, because Costa's probably not going to be playing this year either way. So outside of Hazard, that's their starting 11. Yeah. So the attack's not obviously Hazard makes their attack better, but I'm saying pretty much that's going to be what it is. So it is alarming looking at how the chances came in, and Morata coming on late didn't get as much service. So you can't really judge him off of that.
He came when it was like when they went a man down. So I mean, unfortunately,
Exactly.
No, I just.
What was the reason why he didn't start it? Why didn't he start it?
Well,
Morata.
Why didn't he start?
Batshuayi was been playing all preseason. Yeah.
No, the thing about the Morata thing.
Batshuayi is such a
the Morata thing. I think someone pointed out the fact that he hasn't grasped the system yet, and his defensive responsibilities is a little alarming. They need him. Costa's not coming.
Who?
Morata.
What do you mean his defensive responsibility?
Because
because there were several instances in that game where I saw him covering the left wing back spot, especially when they got the
but he would have started. I mean,
the
fact that he had to go in and he had to get into the game when the circumstances were not ideal. If he was up,
that's what I'm saying.
If he was up to par with what he needed to grasp within the system, he would have started and excelled. But
I think it's gonna take a lot. Put it this way, for me, I think if you're comparing the two new strikers, with Lacazette and Arsenal and Morata and Chelsea, I think it's gonna take Morata a lot more time to get his feet sorted in Chelsea than it is for
especially.
Lacazette.
I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, especially Jimmy, but I don't think Morata throughout his career has been a starting striker. I don't think this is the first time that he's given the opportunity to be that player.
Juve.
He had a chance.
I mean.
But I see what you're saying.
He
wasn't the main man. Yeah, he wasn't the main man. So I agree with that. And I think it's going to be. I think right now a lot of Chelsea fans are kind of holding their breath because they're like, I don't know what. I mean, this is probably one of the few teams I've seen that has won the league and come back with so many questions. You know what I'm saying?
Not Leicester.
Well, other than Leicester, yeah. Well, Leicester was different though because I think people expected Leicester to naturally fall off. With Chelsea, you have a team like Chelsea that when you win the league, you don't really expect them to have questions like they do. You know what I mean? And I think, I guess 2 years ago with Jose Mourinho, when they did win the league and they started off pretty bad too, it had to do with players, right? It had to do with them needing players, and I think that's what it is right now too. I think Chelsea still needs that big signing. I still need another signing, especially if Costa leaves. They're gonna need another striker. Because I don't think they're going to be safe with Morata and Batshuayi. No. So I think it does rest on Costa's shoulders because if he doesn't find a home, what's he going to do? He's going to have to play, right? Unless he just settles. Yeah, I think Conte is going to probably have another meeting with him and say, "Hey, look, we need you," and we'll see what happens. So
just another comment on Batshuayi. Man, they're in trouble. What? You can't depend on that man, bro. Yo, I can see why he never started now. I can see why he never started.
What's up? What's up with Belgian forwards, man? Honestly, what's up with Belgian forwards? We're talking about Lukaku. We're talking about Batshuayi. We're talking about Benteke. Dude, I just feel like they're small club players. You get me?
Just speak on it right now. You know what? If we're talking about if
let's be serious. Maybe Lukaku can be the exception. Maybe Lukaku can be the exception.
You know what? If we're talking in terms of countries, like as the top four, Belgium will be like number 6. They're very good, but not good enough to like crack.
Yeah,
like,
talent
levels.
Let me digress back to Arsenal, Chelsea. Quick thoughts on Conte's PK selection. Now, I've heard, before, just give me some reference, I've heard Thibaut Courtois is one of their best.
So that was stupid. Don't try it. He shouldn't try it.
Just wait, but hold on. I trust me. I think that's speaking of Arsenal. I'm giving you reference before we rate it. This is a guy that they say puts the ball in the same spot, top corner, every single time. Or else Conte probably wouldn't have picked him in the starting 5, much less to go third. Now, he did beat Czech, everybody else. So your thoughts on it? Would you have not picked him knowing what you saw in
Game
practice,
yeah.
or
I'm sorry. Game situations are far more different than practice. I don't care if you're nice.
True.
There's reason why you're there's a reason why you take those penalties in practice. Yes, to execute. But man, in those big situations, you can't trust your keeper. Your keeper. Oh, no,
Yeah, you can.
I'm not.
You can. Here's the thing: practice.
some keepers have done it though, right?
Good
Some
while you're
keepers
playing.
have taken PKs and
So if a
converted them.
goalkeeper shows,
Yeah.
he can take the PK, you should trust him to go take the PK, because that's what practice is for. You practice those things so you can do it in the game.
Imagine preseason, they never
but
did
then-
anything
but
like that.
Yeah, but then honestly, he took that PK as if it was like a goal kick. Let's be honest, man. So I wouldn't have picked a goalkeeper. I would have picked an outfield player.
What if you see him in practice making
Hindsight's
them?
2020 though. I think I tend to agree with Jimmy. Hindsight's 2020. You're saying that now, but if he makes a PK, then what? Nobody talks about it, right? So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
it's hard to say that. But moving forward. So Kolasinac, the new left back signing for Arsenal, hit the score sheet. He's had a pretty
Wait,
solid,
he's left back?
pretty solid game coming on for. He's a
Yeah,
left
he's
center
left
back,
back.
left back. He's gonna be playing a hybrid. Of
Where do you see
positions.
him playing for? For fantasy reasons, where do you see him playing?
He could play. To be honest with you,
In the back.
it's tough to say. I mean, Monreal, as of right now, it's supposed to be Monreal, Mustafi, and Koscielny as
Yeah.
the back three. And then on the wing, on the left, is a big question mark. It could have been. It's supposed to be Ox. He didn't have a great game. It could be Kolasinac if he wants to take it, or Kolasinac could double to play as the center back as a left center back as well if Monreal is done. So it's tough to say where he's going to start, where the season is going to lie. He may play, depending upon Mertesacker if he's fit for the week. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Arsenal has a lot of questions right now. And I really don't know. I think we're going to start the season with this formation. I think going into Friday.
Scrapped.
Koscielny's not fit. Yeah, it's going to be scrapped. So I wouldn't go by this week at all, to be honest with you. So, and lastly, Xhaka got man of the match for the team this year. I think his passing was at like 90%. Yeah, he had two big chances. I think he had one big chance. Took a shot from 30 yards out. And,
I believed in him.
Remember
when I was like, give him time, give the men time.
Jimmy was a big believer. Jimmy was a big believer.
We all saw his quality at the World Cup, but still, I'm just gonna give that performance that he had on Sunday down to Chelsea selection midfield, which I've always said Fabregas and Kante does not fucking.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. Because
I'm gonna give it down. If Matic was playing with Kante, are you gonna seriously tell me that midfield battle would have not been
was
interesting?
Kante not the PFA player of the year?
Really
Come on, man. Kante was a player of the year last year.
That's why I just think
Defensive
Fabregas
liability.
just does not play well with Kante.
So you're gonna say Kante had a
Still,
regular performance due to Fabregas?
Pause right there, Mark. Let's literally break down Kante playing by himself. If you think that he can control midfield by himself, the only time he's ever played by himself was at France versus Romania, and he played as a defensive midfielder, and he was terrible. He was terrible playing by himself. Now let's assess. Let's assess when he was playing with Leicester City. He was playing with Danny Drinkwater, a great partner for him. He was playing with Matic, a great partner for him.
So Danny Drinkwater now is more quality than Fabregas? Is that what you're gonna tell me?
Dude, well, he linked up way better than with Kante than the two of them.
Defensively, maybe, but at the end of the day, Kante's job doesn't change.
That matters.
But but Kante's job doesn't change because Fabregas is there. Kante's still supposed to be the pressing one. He's still supposed to be the one recycling the ball. He's still supposed to be doing the same things. And
now let me ask you, what was Matic's job when he was playing with Kante?
He was sitting. Defensively. He was sitting. Just like Fabregas was. Defensively, he's supposed to link with Kante. He's supposed to be
defensively
next to him within 5 yards.
Defensively, because we can break down a game scenario later on, and then assess how Matic has performed in terms of interceptions,
I'm not saying
tackles,
that he didn't
blocks,
help.
and everything.
No,
and then let's see if Fabregas does that.
I'm not saying he didn't help.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't think Fabregas has that effect over with Kante.
So I just got a quick question though.
But going
That's
forward,
where I think Chelsea missed.
I got a quick question. So you guys really rate Xhaka like that?
I I personally thought.
I do.
I was very critical. I was very critical of Saka when he first came to Arsenal.
Yeah, even Mark right here. I was like, give him time. Mark is like, nah.
I was really critical.
It depends how you play.
He had a nightmare. His first 6 months were a nightmare. But I will say, the last 6 months, once we changed to 3-4-3, once we got Coquelin out of there, Ramsey got healthy, you can see the best in Xhaka. Xhaka actually, the last 4 or 5 games of the season, he was probably our best player in the midfield. At his best. Go ahead, BT.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, with Xhaka, like, honestly, that season when he had chosen Arsenal, I was hoping he was gonna come to Liverpool because he was those talk that he was gonna come from Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Story of your life,
right?
No, it's not story of my life. Go look at the Facebook statuses because I even paid.
Story of Liverpool life.
But like I was saying. Oh yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah, but I know what you're saying. But like, again, it's the way Arsenal play him. Like, I feel like he's the type that he can play as a sort of like. If I was to compare him in a role, playing as a defensive midfielder by himself with 2 center midfielders that are doing work, sort of like what Switzerland did.
Maybe Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, like a Xabi Alonso. Yeah, like a Xabi Alonso. Or like, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, a deep line playmaker. I feel like that's the best Xhaka, and that was what he did at that World Cup. And I felt like if he had come to Liverpool, which is what we utilize, because we have Jordan Henderson who sucks. And I felt like Xhaka is a better option.
Of course he's better. Yeah, but I'm just saying
that's not high standard. That's not high standard, bro. That's not high standard. That's not high standard.
Yeah. But then I feel like that one. Yeah, I feel like last season. I think he was getting used to a role at Arsenal. That's why I didn't really bash him. Yeah, I didn't really bash him as hard as it was. I mean, there were certain banter reasons why I just wanted to make fun of him. But like,
to add to that, you're right.
We have to give him an opportunity. Yeah,
you're right because he was doing. Xhaka's not a midfielder that's going to press. First of all, he's slow. Well, he's not. That's like basically putting Xabi Alonso next to Coquelin and say, "Hey, you go press and you go break down tackles," and Coquelin will go offensively. It's not going to work. So you have to put him in a position to where he's most useful. He's most useful dictating the play. He's most useful collecting the ball from the center back, making passes, and recycle it, and dictating tempo and using his passing ability. When you have it worked a little bit more today with last week with Elneny, because Elneny is a better version, in my opinion, of Coquelin with the ball at his feet. So because Elneny can go and press, win the ball, and with the ball at his feet, he can link up passes. It now gives Xhaka the ability to not have to worry about that. What he can worry about is making sure the ball keeps moving, putting the game on a pendulum, and then he'll be able to crack shots from deep, which is what he's the most good at. You know what I mean? So,
but I mean, we'll have to wait until Arsenal actually face Arsenal have their the starting midfield, and they face a quality midfield at the same time.
And that's also why
that's when I feel like he has to
show his work. But I think that's only going to happen when we buy a center mid. I think that's why we're trying to buy a center mid right now, because Ramsey, Elneny, Coquelin, Wilshere, none of these guys are good enough, in my opinion, to play the role we need. Cazorla was the only one, and Cazorla's just not going to be fit. So we need another center mid.
How many months has Cazorla been out? Almost a year, right?
Well, he's been out for a year and he had a setback. It's just
no, that's like 2 seasons. That's